difficult day.
He has. He got into something he wasn't supposed to eat. Bear. All right, stay right there then, fine. I'll have to keep my eye on him from here. Yeah, you know what? Let me tell you something. It's terrible when you have to go outside and you pull out a bag to handle what just happened, and you realize that a bag isn't what's going to do the job here. You just need like a bottle of water.
Or a sponge.
Yeah, that's not what you want. Have you had that experience?
What he did, was it sponge-worthy?
It would be. Seinfeld reference. I get it.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, guys. Welcome to ENN on this Monday evening. I'd like to start off, if I can, by saying good evening to Michael.
You think Michael K. would, but he's an idiot. Hey, when does the March Madness, Drop Madness begin?
Ooh. Well, hold on. Selection Sunday should be this Sunday. Monday. Is it a week from today, Andrew?
It begins a week from Thursday. We try to align it with the real March Madness.
But that would mean that you reveal the bracket a week from today.
I don't know that that's how we've done it in the past. I think usually we reveal it the day before.
Okay.
But if you want to change it, I'm open. But that's what precedent, I believe, has been.
All right.
Monday we have on Joe Lenardi to break down the possible matchups.
Who would you get down to break it down?
I know what I would say, but you know
somebody from the station, right?
You know the guest who makes sense, Don, to bring back in to discuss it with. You know who. There's only one person.
I don't.
Mr. Randall
Limited
Joseph
Okay.
Santilla.
I was thinking about that, yeah. When you said guest, you threw me off. But yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. He could be our Drop Madness expert. Because you can't have the man making the decision.
By the way, I know you probably won't do this, Andrew. You have enough work on your plate. But if you and RJ did a Drop Madness bracketology special on our podcast stream, it would do incredibly well.
Like our own personal selection show.
Yeah, like you and RJ get together and do like a 30-minute breakdown show. It would be tremendous. I'd be a big supporter of this. I'd promote it on all my vehicles. All right, well, I'll just talk to myself. Good evening to Don.
I don't remember Glenn helped me shovel. I couldn't have been more positive about your opinion, Peter.
It was a great idea, right?
Yeah, but you were making it seem like you were getting crickets. You weren't getting crickets from me. I love the idea.
I rarely get crickets from you. You know what I'm saying?
Why don't we just do it, Peter? You and I. We'll
Dan's in it. It's not right, though. It needs... You need Andrew and RJ there. You need them. Let me just say good evening to myself.
The Queen of England knocked on my...
Steppage there, but it would have been funny. One more time.
The Queen of England knocked on my...
You sound like Michael may know this. In Peppa Pig, the Queen sometimes makes an appearance, and that's the voice that they give.
You know what? I'm not a big Peppa Pig fan. Never have been. I walk out of the room when it's on. They're too old now for Peppa Pig.
Well, here's the thing that's incredible about Peppa Pig. They make an effort to entertain the adults. Very, very subtly.
Nudity?
Yeah,
it's nothing you want to see naked anyway. They're pigs. They're animals.
Oh. Well, they're already naked.
It's
Mickey Mouse wears
the best thing they watch.
Mickey Mouse wears clothes.
There's something about There's something about the name Peppa Pig I find annoying as someone who's never had any experience with it. Like, it feels like it's called Pepper Pig, but it's Michael pronouncing it.
You know what? You could take a flying leap. How about that? Wow. Greatest broadcaster of all time.
What a shot.
That wasn't a shot. He has a New York accent. So what?
No, sometimes it slips in, but you're saying like every time a word ends in A, I finish it up with ER. That was another host, not me.
Well, okay.
He's trying to get rid of that accent, the way most people try to get rid of a tumor. He's worked his entire life to rid himself of that. It pains him when it slips out, and you reminded him. That's a clear shot.
He's done a great job of it, by the way.
Tremendous.
You barely ever hear it. But when it does,
but when you do,
we point it out and we laugh, like good friends. Guys, let's talk NBA action for a second, shall we? Because the second half of the season is here. The Nets have acquired Blake Griffin.
That's Blake.
Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Jim Harden on Blake Griffin joining the Brooklyn Nets.
I'm sure he wants to win. If he's passed up on money, to obviously stay, in Detroit, he wants to win and he wants to have an opportunity to play meaningful minutes. And, I'm assuming that's one of the reasons why he came. Obviously, we know, the athletic and high jumping Blake, but I think as of these, last couple of years, he's knocking down the three ball a little bit better. Ball handling is a lot better, and he can be a great contribution to his team. So, if your sources are correct, then we'd be more than welcome and excited to have him on our Brooklyn Nets team.
Now, Jay Williams was on with DCR earlier, and he said that no one in the East can beat the Brooklyn Nets.
Look, Joel Embiid is playing at a different level. Ben Simmons is my defensive player of the year as of right now. But I do think the Philadelphia 76ers will be there at the end of the day. I wonder if they have enough scoring punch. You're talking about three of the most prolific scorers in the game right now, all on the same team. And I don't see anybody beating them 4 out of 7 games in the 7-game series. I don't.
I've been saying that since it was put together, and I watched them play a couple times. I don't see it happening. I don't see a team good enough to beat them 4 times. Can it be done? Yeah, it can be done. I wouldn't be shocked, but I would be surprised. They're that good.
Well, we need to see what this pandemic world's going to look like. It's not going to be like last year when they're in the bubble. But who thought the Bucks would go in the second round? Who thought the Heat would go to the final last year? So it's not going to be like normal. So I guess anything can happen, but I'm with you. I don't see anybody beating this team in a big spot.
Do you guys want to jump into today's edition of Kyrie Rambles On and On?
Oh yeah, how long are we going?
Love
here?
this. Yeah.
This is only 39. No, this is only 39 seconds.
Okay.
He doesn't clear his throat in 39 seconds.
Here's Kyrie being asked about the negativity that has followed him at times.
I don't know what negativity he's talking about. I live with my family. I have my priorities straight, and I do what I love to do every single day. Anybody has anything to say about that, then that's on them. I don't really consider it negativity or a hovering cloud, like you said. This is a fictional reality, this whole basketball thing. I enjoy it. I'm grateful to be able to play it, but this has no effect on my real life at this point. I'm grateful that I matured and found the tools to be able to kind of just focus on the commitment, focus on the job, focus on my craft, and just let my actions speak for themselves. Nobody asked me about anything that I'm actually doing out here in the community. They kind of just assume, so, and this is not the platform to be talking about it because nobody asked me about it. It's just not important to the NBA media.
What's amazing?
I don't know what the question was, but...
So this fictional reality has nothing to do with the way he lives his life? You mean the $40 million a year you earn has nothing to do with the way you live your life or the work that you could do in the community? That's not true. I mean, the fact that he is such an extraordinary basketball player gives him the means to live the way he wants and help people the way he wants, but to say that it doesn't have any effect whatsoever, it's totally disingenuous. Totally. I think that Kyrie wants to show you that he's the smartest guy in the room, that he's better than you, he's better looking than you, he's more charitable than you, he's better at everything. He wants you to know that.
Well,
listen, I'll defend Kyrie. If the question was, how do you feel about the negativity that follows you around?
Well, you know why they asked him that? He didn't show up at the Zoom meeting that he was supposed to before the game. So the NBA is going to probably fine him. That's what they meant. They probably were talking about that. He just didn't show up and didn't give an excuse. Every NBA All-Star had to be part of a Zoom meeting on Sunday morning. He didn't show up.
I don't think... I could be wrong about this. I don't think he thinks he's better than everybody else.
He knows he is.
He believes he's better or doesn't want to be known as just a basketball player.
That I agree with you.
And I
that's
think
beneath him.
Right, exactly.
Beneath his calling as a superior person.
That's the feeling is like, yeah, that's good for you guys. You're a basketball player. I'm more than just a basketball player. And a lot of what makes him more than a basketball player is a lot of good. Because he does a lot of charitable things. He cares a lot about what's happening outside of basketball, but he doesn't want to be known as just a basketball player. And I think that's the problem is that you need to be kind of all in, and there are times where it doesn't feel like he's all in. And he kind of looks down at everybody else who just focuses on their task, which is to play basketball. He seems like he's above that.
I think I actually can relate to something about Kyrie.
Okay.
He's a good person. I believe myself to be a good person, and my intentions are good. And when I do radio, my intentions are good. Sometimes I say things that afterwards I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't say that, etc. When I was Kyrie's age, Kyrie's what, 30? 31? Sorry, I was trying to find his rookie year was 2011, 2012, 28 years old, something like that. When I was 28 years old, there were a lot of times where I knew my intentions were good. So I'm like, as long as my intentions are good, I'll always be okay with what I did. Then I got older and went back and listened to how I handled things when I was 28 years old. Sometimes he's just going to go, man, I was doing good things. Why was I acting like a nozzle all the time? He just doesn't perceive that he has a tone and a way that he feels like coming off that's just too much. It does feel like it's looking down. Like, yes, you're doing awesome things. Stop doing it in a way where it appears that you're also looking down on people at the same time.
He has such an imperious tone. Like, what did he call the media at the beginning of the year when he didn't talk to them? Pawns. So he looks at the media as scum that's beneath him, that he has to answer these questions, but contractually he's obligated to because of the NBA. And he doesn't deign people below him that he should have to answer their questions. He does, I give him credit, but he thinks again, smarter than you, a better person than you, does better things, and is more charitable than you. I mean, why did he have to bring up the charitable work he did? Because you guys don't ask me that. Well, sit down for an interview. Let people do a long-form interview, and we'll ask you about it. Come on center stage, I'll ask you about it.
And I do think sometimes that becomes his get-out-of-jail-free card, where every time he wants to, like, not be on the Zoom, it's like, making it seem like, well, he wasn't on the Zoom because he was out, like, planting trees someplace. Sometimes he might just not want to have to do it. And then when you call him on it, like, well, listen, I've got a lot of other things going on. Now, I think overwhelmingly the majority of time he kind of veggies out. It's to do other things. It's good, but not all the time. So, right, Peter, it says get out of jail free. The second you want to criticize me for not showing up to a practice or Zoom or whatever, I want you to just assume it's because I'm doing some kind of really special work, where sometimes it might just be I don't feel like doing that.
I don't know. I find it annoying that we're constantly in the position of ripping him